Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers. I'm a useful idiot. Welcome. And this is the second part of my update on Iraq. And this is about the Kurds who have taken the city of Kirkuk. And I wanted to do a separate video on this because this is a big deal, and this is a huge sub-story or subtext to what's going on in Iraq right now. And so, as we know, the ISIS, the militant group, is moving south against Baghdad. They've taken two large cities in the north of Iraq, Tikrit and Mosul. And interestingly enough, of course, the Iraqi government called on the Kurdish region and their very powerful independent armed forces, the Peshmerga, in help, in relief to the city of Mosul, the siege of the city of Mosul. And Kurdish forces are mobilizing, and they will certainly defend Kurdistan from any incursions from ISIS. But it's interesting that so far, certainly no Kurdish forces have moved south in order to relieve Mosul. And in fact, Prime Minister Barzani talked about the fact that he couldn't coordinate efforts with Baghdad, which may or may not be true. I was suggesting that Barzani is kind of sitting back and waiting to see what happens in Iraq. And then I'm reading about the events today, and as it turns out, Kurdish forces took control of the provincial capital of the oil-rich North, Kirkuk, and it's been completely abandoned by Iraqi forces. So all Iraqi forces have already left. So once again, we see Iraqi forces routed and everything heading back to Baghdad. And pretty interesting that the Kurds, and the reason why this is interesting is because Kirkuk is the city, and that region is the last piece of disputed land, and all the clashes between the Baghdad government and the Irbil government in Kurdistan. One of the main clashes has been over the disputed territories that are still outside of Kurdistan and part of the Iraqi provinces. And Kurdistan has been claiming those regions, and it's been a sticking point in negotiations for a while. And now Kurdish forces actually have control of that area. So if the dust settles and things continue to fall apart in Iraq, Kurdistan will have gotten its prize. These disputed regions, these oil-rich regions, and this city of Kirkuk, which is very important to the traditional region of Kurdistan. Kirkuk has been part of that for a long time. And interestingly enough, to have all Iraqi forces conveniently gone from there. Remember, this is the region that tens of thousands of Kurdish and Iraqi government forces faced off over the last couple of years over these land and oil rights. And now it belongs to Kurdistan. There is no reason, now that this region is in the hands of Kurdistan, there really is no reason for them to stay in Iraq at all. They have everything they want. So this will be a very interesting side story to watch as this drama unfolds in Iraq. If Baghdad falls, all bets are off, and I wouldn't be surprised to see an independent Kurdistan within days or weeks after a potential fall of Baghdad. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. So anyway, something else to keep our eye on in Iraq. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.